Hi everyone, welcome back. So today we're going to learn a little bit about importing data. So when you deal with a lot of different databases, okay, there are different management or information management systems out there. Let's say take for example your school. We might have you might have a learning management system. You might have a school information management system. You may or may not have access to those platforms, but you know even when you go to work, there will be definitely multiple different databases around, and you would have occasions where you need to transfer data from one end to the other. Okay, so this is just going to be one way. So I just open a new blank workbook. You can go to data, the data tab, and then in the get and transform data group, you can select from text. Now generally data comes in data can be downloaded in CSV. Okay, so for example, if I just click this one, if you can see the type here, it is actually CSV comma separated values file. All right, so generally CSV is just a very raw form of Excel. It's a very raw form of data base, whereby there's no formatting involved. Anything is just purely data. So what I'm going to do is just going to import it. And what happens here is that this will show me. So delimiter here, okay, determines what separates from column to column. So if I could select others, but what will happen is that you will see here everything will be placed in a single column. But within each cell there is a comma. So generally we want to put comma, okay, but there can be other types depending on how you want to select it. So generally when I'm transferring data from Excel to Excel, I would not use comma, because comma is also very frequently used within the functions. All right, so I just need to I can select transform data. Okay, so here is where I can do a little bit of editing and so on, but we will not go into detail here. Okay, so as you can see here, after that you can just press close, and then they will load the data, and they will also immediately put it into the table form. Now but this function depends on which Microsoft Excel you have. The older versions are not able to have this function. Okay, now if you notice earlier, we did get the data from a CSV, but we can also get the data from text. All right, so if I just import this, okay, same thing now, but in this case our delimiter changes tab. So this one is quite intuitive. They will be able to detect how is the data separated simply from the first 200 rows. But in this case, tab might not be a good idea, or it is. Space is even worse idea. So yeah, I guess we just have to stick to tab instead. All right. While there may be certain differences, we can work with this. It's much easier to work with this. Then we can just press load. Instead of going to transform data, we can immediately press load, and it will appear again. Okay. So that is all. This is just a very basic version of importing data.